Welcome back. All right, career video today on Eric Staal, who retired earlier this summer. Of course, his brother's retired as well, his brother being Mark. His other brother, Jordan, still playing, of course. Jordan Staal, the last remaining Staal brother in the National Hockey League. Eric Staal was drafted second overall in 2003 by the Carolina Hurricanes. An absolutely stacked 2003 draft, which we've seen a lot of players from that draft class finally retire this year. There are a couple that are hanging on, though, of course. So 03-04, that first year after the draft, Eric comes up and plays for Carolina. 81 games, 11 goals, 20 assists, 31 points. Debate about whether or not he might have come up too early, yada, 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 this kind of thing. 04-05, of course, we don't have a season, which seemed to benefit Eric Staal because 05-06, when he returns to the NHL, when the NHL comes back to play, he has the best season of his entire career offensively. 82 games, 45 goals. That's 8th overall that year. 55 assists, his 100th point. 7th. So 7th in the NHL scoring list with 100 points exactly. And that playoff run by a surprising Carolina Hurricanes team, 25 games, 9 goals, 19 assists, 28 points. So Eric Staal, the sky's the limit for him, right? He's a second-team All-Star. He's 4th in Hart voting that year. And, of course, Carolina wins the Stanley Cup. 06-07, things don't go quite so well, though, for Carolina. 82 games played by Staal, 30 goals, 40 assists, 70 points. He does play in the All-Star game that year. The following season, 82 games, 38 goals, 44 assists, 82 points. He plays in the All-Star game again. And 08-09, as Carolina gets back above the playoff line for the first time since winning the Stanley Cup. 82 games. Staal's 40 goals, that puts him 5th on the overall list. 35 assists, 75 points. In the playoffs, 18 games, 10 goals, 5 assists, 15 points. He played in the All-Star game again that year. So 43 points in 43 games over his first 2 runs in the playoffs. Nice long run for Carolina in 09, but of course, that's where their challenges in the conference final started, was back in 09. So 2009-2010, Carolina misses the playoffs again. 70 games, 29 goals, 41 assists, 70 points. And it really has been feast or famine when it comes to Carolina's playoff fortunes until recent years. 2010-2011, 81 games, 33 goals, 43 assists, 76 points. He would play in his 4th All-Star game that season. 2011-2012, 82 games, 24 goals, 46 assists, 70 points. So pretty reliable point totals in between 70 and 76 over those 4 years, between 70 and 76 for 5 out of 6 years, and point per game exactly that 6th season in the middle there. 2012-2013, it is a lockout-shortened season that year, just 48 games, and that's what he plays. 18 goals, 35 assists. That's 6th overall in the NHL. His 53 points, also 6th overall in the National Hockey League. So that is the most recent season that's been affected by a lockout. Not the only shortened season, though. And 2013-2014, full season back, his points totals drop off just a bit. 79 games, 21 goals, 40 assists, 61 points. 2014-2015, plays 77 games for Carolina, 23 goals, 31 assists, 54 points. So again, his goals and his assists have dropped down. He's down to 54 points here. Lowest points total he had recorded outside of that lockout shortened season. So obviously that doesn't really count, but it is the smallest amount of points he's put out over a full season since his rookie year. 2015-2016, that offense drops off again. Plays 63 games with Carolina, 10 goals, 23 assists, 33 points. February 27th of 2016, he is traded. So the face of the Carolina Hurricanes franchise, and about 13 years into his career, he is traded to the New York Rangers for a 2016 second-round pick, a 2017 second-round pick, as well as Alexi Sorella. So not a lot back for Carolina in exchange for Staal, but Staal's on an expiring contract. So Eric arrives in New York. It does not go well for him with the New York Rangers. 20 games played, 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points. And in the playoffs, 5 games played, no points. So the expectation was, 83 games, 39 points. The offense just isn't there for Staal. How long is he going to have to wait to sign a contract as a free agent? Not long. July the 1st, he's signed by the Minnesota Wild to a contract that at the time is seen as a little bit risky, considering that he'd come off a season with 13 goals, 39 points, but he has that huge bounce back with the Minnesota Wild. 82 games, 28 goals, 37 assists, 65 points. In the playoffs, he records 1 assist in 5 games. So he resurrects his career in Minnesota after a tough time of it in Carolina and the Rangers organizations the year before. 2017-2018, the goal scoring really boosts up here. 82 games, 42 goals, which is 4th overall, and the highest total he'd had since his second season, which of course was that magical season with Carolina where they won the Stanley Cup. 34 assists, 76 points altogether. In the playoffs, 5 games, 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 points. And he plays in the All-Star game again. So he's an All-Star, and even though he's advancing in years at this point, he still looks pretty good. 2018-2019, 81 games, still with the Wild. 22 goals, 30 assists, 52 points. So, again, the production's not bad, and considering that Carolina's was paying way more for him than the Minnesota Wild were on their contract, it honestly is a pretty good contract for Minnesota. 2019-2020, 66 games played, 19 goals, 28 assists, 47 points. The pause basically robs him of a 20-goal season there, right? In the playoffs, 4 games played with Minnesota, 1 goal, 4 assists, 5 points in that series against Vancouver. He did play in the 2020 All-Star game, and then September 16th, he is traded to the Buffalo Sabres for Marcus Johansson. This is a deal that Marcus Johansson was, I think, better for Minnesota than Staal was in Buffalo. The 2020-2021 season, not a fantastic season for Eric Staal. 32 games with Buffalo, 3 goals, 7 assists, 10 points, and then he's traded. March the 26th of 2021, he is traded to the Montreal Canadiens in exchange for a 2021 third and 5th round draft pick. So in Montreal, 21 games, 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 points after the trade. So in that shortened season, because it was where you're just playing within your own division, he plays 53 games, only has 13 points. But in the playoffs, Montreal goes on a magical run. And Eric Staal is not a passenger for that. Plays 21 games, 2 goals, 6 assists, 8 points. Provides them some veteran leadership up front. And again, when you look at Montreal going into the following season, they didn't have Weber, they didn't have Price. But I think the loss of Staal is worth noting as well. Now, Eric Staal did not play in the National Hockey League for the 2021-2022 season, but he signs with Florida October 21st of 2022 as a free agent, of course. Plays 72 games that final year in Florida, 14 goals, 15 assists, 29 points. In the playoffs, Florida goes all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals. So those are 2 Stanley Cup Finals for Eric Staal in his last 2 seasons in the NHL. 21 games with Florida, 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points. And he misses that Stanley Cup by 1 year. So in his career, 1,365 games, that's 53rd all-time. 455 goals, that's 63rd all-time. 608 assists, that's 96th all-time. His 1,063 points is 75th on the all-time list. In the playoffs, 104 games, 25 goals, 39 assists, 64 points. He is a member of the Triple Gold Club, meaning he has a Stanley Cup. He also has Olympic gold. He won that in 2010. And in 2007, he won gold at the World Championships. Also won silver at the World Championships in 2008. One thing about playing in Carolina, you're going to be out of the playoffs a lot, at least during the era he's there, so you'll get a chance to go and represent your country at the World Championships relatively often. And in this case, Staal did win a gold medal in 2007. So from 2006 through 2010, he wins trophies and medals and all that fun stuff. And after that, a little bit more elusive for him. So definitely the best of his hockey, I think, was played early, but he had a pretty good run in Minnesota towards the end there. And then his season in Florida wasn't too bad, again, considering at that point in time, he was about 20 years into his career. So all the best to Eric Staal in retirement. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you've not done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.